Here's my face. And I'm showing you guys this. Hold on. And I'm showing you guys this. Well, good morning. I'm sorry. Because this is something I've been mulling over for about 2 months now, 3 months. I'm cut to the chase. I can't do what I'm doing on YouTube anymore the way that I'm doing it. I can't talk about metals anymore as of right now. I know a few friends from my previous hobby that I was in is probably a little disappointed that I haven't. I've been refraining from really truly speaking that. So if y'all guys want to go on and leave the channel, go ahead. I respect that. This channel, I guess you can call it a rebrand, and it's about to go through, where I'm going to vent my frustrations, I'm going to talk shit, probably have some laughs, but I've been spoke on this a couple months ago with a couple friends, and they agreed that I should do it back then. But I love it. I love the metals. I love talking about it. And I was hoping somewhere inside of me, a small piece of me was hoping that things would probably get a little better or maybe stay the same and not get worse. When a man is mowing something over and is contemplating doing something, sometimes it could just be one switch that triggers it. And my trigger has come. So I said in the previous video that I might sell some of my gold because I was planning on taking my family to New York. Well, as soon as I got off work yesterday, a friend of mine sent me a video of what Iran had posted. Iran had posted. And it didn't look fun for someone who was planning to take his family to New York. Everything they said in that video was true. Everything that they said. And they didn't say any words, if I'm not mistaken. If this dude keep messing around, chickens are going to come home to roost. The world is about to start itching for our chickens to come home to roost. On everything we've done since the inception of America. There's a price to be paid for all of that. I just didn't ever want to be alive when America had to pay that price. But it might be at my doorstep. Asar, you are killing me right now. When you see this, I want you to know you need to start sending your texts all in one, bro. All right? I love you, but damn, boy. You got me good this time. Anyway, emotions is running high. What we did to them people over there is you can't defend this. You're not supposed to be able to. We attacked those people. We blew up a school. We attacked them during Ramadan, their most holiest month. So, roles reversed. If somebody attacked us on Christmas or Easter, if Muslims attacked us on Easter, starting on Good Friday, and bombed us that whole weekend, you'd be pretty pissed, right? They blew up a school with 150 girls in it, or damn near 150 girls, mostly girls, 150 kids, mostly girls, I'm sorry. The reason why liberals, if there's anyone from MAGA watching, look at y'all with disgust is because everything y'all complained about during the campaign is now smacking you right in your face, and y'all ain't calling it out. Everything, everything, from the $5,000 check. Now my wife's sending me videos. Anyone who's familiar with my other videos that I used to do for the Wrestling Belt hobby, they're used to this. Because y'all proving yourself to be hypocrites. Playing a victim all the time. Remember, you used to tell black people stop playing victim. Now who's playing victim all the time? Calling everybody snowflakes, but everything offends y'all to the fact that you gotta go and try to stop the peaceful transfer of power. That's the biggest Karen move, snowflake move I've ever seen in my life. And then on the other hand, win the election and still be angry. All you see is anger from y'all on the internet. Liberals lost the election. And we're still happier than you guys are. And we have to live with the decisions that y'all made. But the thing about those decisions is I don't 100% blame y'all. I really don't. And there's no joke behind this or try to catch 22 or whatever. Like, I was talking to one of my friends this morning, and I'm like, it's not 100% their fault. I know the middle age or the older middle age, your 50, 60-year-old, or 60 or above. So there you go. Your older white people watch Fox News 24/7. And when I say 24/7, I literally mean Fox News is playing in the background 24/7, except for when the local news comes on, especially for the guys who are retired. It's what they got in the background all day. So you take that and you see, well, they're being fed lies all day. But then it does come a point when you have to realize you're being lied to. But what they did to you guys made you guys and turned you guys against liberals. So much to the point where anything that come out of our mouth is a lie. You already won the election. What do we got to lie about? What do we got to lie about? The proof is in the pudding and everything we was telling you guys. So that's when you then say, hey, you know what? Maybe they weren't lying. Or is your cultural wars or racism or bigotry in general, or the need to have the majority of the country be white? Let me tell y'all about that. It doesn't matter either way. That's first and foremost. Second off, that's still you're still the dominant race. They are just counting every other race. Like, I don't understand how that became so important to y'all. That's including the 14% of black people that are in this country. Like, there's only 14% of us. Y'all still got 49% of y'all. So it's not like there's a they made y'all look at that and just see black in y'all mind, I guess. I don't know what it did. But y'all never stopped to think like, yeah, but that's not like it's now way more African Americans than there is Caucasians. That's I still wouldn't understand you caring about shit like that because it doesn't bother you personally. It doesn't affect you personally, even if that was the case. Like, they made you guys worry about things that don't even affect you personally at all and never will. How what does it matter if there's more of one race than the other race? No other race worries about that. Y'all understand? Like, why you need to say to yourself, why are we the only race that worry about that? Why are we the only race that habitually just talk about other races for no reason? Because no other races care to talk about us like that. They really don't. For you white people who hang around black people, they're not talking about white people because y'all are there. It's something we just don't care to do and waste our time doing it. Unless it's now, see, if that was a black person, the cops would have shot that person. You'll get that. You'll get that 100% of the time we see it. But at the same time, it's not something that anybody care about. Y'all the only race on the planet that care about race. So much so y'all are the ones who actually named black people black. We were called Moors at one time. Maurice. You seen a black person, he's Maurice. The stupefying of America is what led us here. And it started a while ago. I'm in a blue state, but I'm in a red city. Let's say that. I'm in the red part of the state. Let's say that. And I see how the schools are done. Take, for instance, this year. There's been one snowstorm. Just one. Kids probably missed about 35, 40 days this year. Just because they said it might snow. That's not even including the 2-hour delays because of rain. The news predicted that there's a tornado warning set for the next day, and the kids had out of school. Now, that's a combination of two things in my mind. One, they stupefying America because they had the kids out of school a lot last year for nothing. And the funding that was cut to the schools. How is it that anybody can be cool with them cutting funding to schools? Since when is this okay? I remember growing up in the 80s. Yeah, I just dated myself. The children, I believe the children are our future. You know, the song was all around the world. The children are the future. But if the future is ran by or is being able to be voted on by people who aren't smart, it'll be easy to manipulate them. And I can see how living where I live, I can see how a lot of people were manipulated. You guys probably can't hear a lot of what I'm saying. I can see how a lot of people were manipulated. It's easy to manipulate the uneducated. It truly is. Um, I live where I live, but I'm not from where I live. I'm from Jersey. And before I go on, I'll tell you guys I'm an ex-addict. I have a rap sheet. So when anybody want to put that in the comment section or something, you guys already know. None of us are perfect. I don't have as many felonies as the president. I know that much. But I'll lose train of thought. I'll have to circle back sometimes. I will be wrong. And when I find that I am, I'll be man enough to admit it. But one thing I won't ever do is change who I am for no one. That's one thing my mom, God bless the dead, taught me. Never change who I am for no one. And I'm not. So that means I could never allow myself to go down the road of immorality. Just to feel like I'm right about somebody I voted for. Maybe I'm doing this because I want my kids to know, my grandkids to know, my great-grandkids to know, all the way down, that he wasn't one of them. Your granddad wasn't one of them. This is what he stood for. And if ever I'm strung up somewhere or shot up somewhere or overdosed somewhere, it wasn't me. I'll never do a heroin, a methamphetamine, a cocaine. I can't say weed. As soon as they make it legal federally, I'm on the train. I'm off the wagon, or whatever, whichever way you want to put it, on and off. I guess I'll be on the wagon now, and I'll be off as soon as they make it legal federally. Anyhow, that's who I am. I'll be as honest with you as always. It's not always going to be a Donald Trump bashing video type deal. We'll talk about good shit or whatever, man. Like, it's going to be like Seinfeld. For those of you who remember Seinfeld, it's going to be a channel about nothing, motherfuckers. Like, we can get on here and talk about whatever we want to talk about. But it will be centered around current events. The trigger, man, I'm taking my family to New York next week. And my wife had to see that. So there's that. To be the first time my daughter is going to see it. We're going to see the Statue of Liberty. And I don't want to say everything else because I just don't want to say everything else as of right now. Maybe I'll post some videos and stuff. And I still will talk about medals. But I just feel like, man, this is a vent thing. Like, liberals who see this in the future or whatever, man, this might be the way to go to help you cope with what we have to deal with. I'll get more in depth with everything in other videos. But for those of you who are MAGA, like, I like conspiracy theories, like y'all, a good one. Take, for instance, one that I concocted in my own head. I think I'm probably one of the only people on the planet who wasn't a part of that, who knows what Vietnam was all about. Same thing Afghanistan was about, and going in there. If you guys ever watched the movie American Gangster, it tells you right there. He went over there during the Vietnam War, and he knew somebody who was in the military. Not anyone high ranking at all, really. Just a regular nigga in the military. He went over there. It's for true story, Frank. About to call him Frank White. And his name was Frank. I can't remember his last name right now. But he went over there to Vietnam and was able to get a connect with heroin. And his cousin in the military, it was his cousin who was able to put the heroin in the bodies, not in the bodies, but in the casket with the bodies. That doesn't happen unless the government knows. And then we do have record of them pushing crack into black neighborhoods, and I'm not going down that road, but it's public record. So there you go. Don't think I'm playing victim. It happened. So it's not unprecedented that they, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that the government wouldn't do. It's the same reason why we went into Afghanistan. Why I know, because after Vietnam, you had an opiate outbreak. That calmed down. They pushed crack on us. Crack sales are going down, new generation coming up. We got to figure out something else. Yo, here, go take over them damn poppy field plant, them poppy fields, and put that shit in them pills and give it to the people, old and young. They gave my 5-year-old son Percocet, Perc 5. He was only 5 years old, constipated the hell out of him. Back then, we talking 20 years ago. I got a son that old. Was it 20 years ago? In and around that, yeah. We didn't know much about it back then, especially compared to what we know now. But they did. Can you imagine now giving your 5-year-old son a Perc 5? That's what the government was doing to us. So, party of don't ever trust the government. What happened to that? Because you were right. All through my life, I knew that y'all were right about that. You ask any black person, yeah, don't trust the motherfuckers. We could have told y'all that. But I don't fully 100% trust any politician. Okay? I have my boss, he's now my ex-boss because he doesn't work there anymore. Calls me in his office. He's one of these white people who don't realize they're being racist. They think they're being nice. He's one of those. Calls me in his office. It's Black History Month. And let me preface this by saying they wanted to have a separate fucking special luncheon for the black employees at work. Mind you, 98% of the people who work there is white. We got about, man, I don't even know if we can make a baseball team. Okay? That's pretty much it. I don't even think we can make a baseball team. So I just started working there. But when I heard about this shit, and then I seen them posting Black History Month pictures all over the fucking building and shit like that, I'm like, man, y'all trying to start some shit. I'm like, dude, I go in his office, everybody, all the other black motherfuckers, and I'm from the North, and I live in the South. So, like, they, I guess, was afraid to say something, but they've been working there longer than me. Nah, I'm going to say something. Fuck that. Listen, we don't want your lunch. And please take these fucking pictures down. We, as black people, know who we should be looking up to. And if you don't know, then that's on them. And these white people in here don't want to see that shit. Now's not the time for that, bro. I had to tell them that last year. Now's not the time for this. And they had that, they still had the fucking lunch, the segregated lunch, in my mind. I didn't go to work that day. I boycotted it. Anyway, I had a parade to go to anyway. Super Bowl. Boom. So I got ready for that. But getting back to what I was talking about, he calls me in his office and he's like, Oh, Gary, who's your favorite president? Abraham Lincoln. Who's next? Well, really, it's a toss up between Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, depending on what day you ask me. But I think George Washington, deep down inside, is the best president of all time, and you can't never beat that. You just can't, won't ever beat George Washington. Well, Gary, what about him having slaves? Man, another motherfucker talk about another president having some fucking slaves, man. I want to slap the shit out of him. Like, dude, I don't care about I do care, but like, dude, what the fuck can I do about what the way the world was back in 17 fucking 76? Like, damn. My thing is, it happened. You can't erase it, but it happened. That still don't fucking erase the fact that he took on the fucking redcoats and won. Okay, I'm from Jersey. They motherfuckers was chasing his ass all through Jersey. And he went across the river, standing tall. Was it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? They wasn't expecting him. All right, they over there drunk. Okay, they think we just gonna sit our asses over here on this side of this fucking water in PA. All right, now we're gonna take our asses over there. As soon as this fucking river frees halfway. Yeah. Standing tall on the boat. All right. That's George. Can't take that from him. Fuck how many slaves he had. You can't take that from him. You can't take July 4th, 1776 from him. And he actually fought in the war, not just was leading shit. Unlike another fucking president that I know, Mr. Draft dodging asshole. I remember with y'all party, that was the worst thing you could be called. Getting back to being a hypocrite. I used to call people that all the time when y'all didn't like them. Ali had to hear that when he was standing up for his right. What's the difference? Because they had originally told Ali he wasn't healthy enough to go, and then they switched it up. Meanwhile, Donald Trump was able to do the opposite and get out of it. One guy's a fucking champ of the world, and one guy's a fucking future dipshit. Asshole president of the world. Did they go fucking say Barron is too tall? That's a fucking lie. The Admiral, 7 foot. David Robinson. Look him up. Hall of Fame basketball player. They call him the Admiral for a reason. All I'm saying is Fox News and conservative media has poisoned the lifeblood of this country. To use y'all words, or y'all king's words. Y'all turned him into a king, a godlike figure. Then y'all wonder why we call it a cult. Because there's nothing that man can do that would, well, apparently some people, he got gas go up 60 cents. Oh, I'm done. But yeah, his name could be all over the Epstein files. Y'all never stop to think and say, well, because y'all say it all the fucking time, well, what about Joe Biden? Or what about Obama? Y'all never stop to think, well, what about Joe Biden being in there? How would I feel? If Joe Biden's name was in there and Donald Trump's wasn't, what would I be saying right now? That's what you need to ask yourself. If Obama's name was in it and not Donald Trump's. See, this is why we look at y'all the way we do. Because we see how y'all react to certain shit. That's way less. That has nothing to do with harming anyone. Like Obama wearing a tan suit. And then they have to come up with pictures to show how many presidents actually wore a tan suit. I had a guy in my inbox one day, not too long ago. Well, what about them not standing at the speech he gave, the State of the Union? I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Whoever the president is, if he's a Democrat, the Republicans don't stand and cheer. if he's a Republican, the Democrats don't stand in chairs. Half of the room standing up and fucking mushroom gobbling, and the other half is just sitting there. And then you know what he said? Oh yeah, you're right about that. Stop allowing these people to tell y'all what to be mad at. That's got to be a miserable life. Every day is something different. I'm going to go down this road one day too, real deep. But every day it's something different. There's no way I'm going to let these people play mental gymnastics with me and tell me what the fuck I got to be mad at. Really. If that shit ain't never bothered me before, it's not going to bother me now. What fuck type of color suit Donald Trump is wearing? I don't give a fuck. Now, I do care about him wearing a hat when he shouldn't be with dead bodies coming in front of him. I do believe he probably shouldn't do that. But it didn't infuriate me. He probably was having a fucked up hair day. It probably was windy as hell. If I'm him and it's windy as hell, no, I'm not. I understand, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, because they also caught Joe Biden looking at his watch. And me personally, I think that might be a little worse. I think that might be a little worse. And they don't think it is. Which one would offend me more if I'm the dead body going past him and I could see it? The guy looking at his watch. Not to mention, when you think about it, would any of us actually even paid attention to that? The news didn't tell us to. To be honest with you, somebody should have told him. Nobody thought it was a big deal, especially with Donald Trump's hair. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, if I got his hair now, I'm not taking my hat off in the wind. I'm not doing that. We've seen. I don't want to see that shit no more. I really don't. It would have been more offensive for him to have his hat off, probably. I think it was windy. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was windy that day. I would have to go back and watch the video. But even if it wasn't, man, it is what it is. Who gives a fuck at the end of the day? What I care about is the guy that's rolling in front of him and why. That's what I care more about. Damn, what kind of hat he got on. That's what they want you to focus on. Really. Not instead of the fact that that's a dead body that's rolling past him that shouldn't have to fucking be. And that's my thing. That's what we should be worrying about. That's what I was disgusted at watching that video. It shouldn't have to be. Nobody should be dying in Iran right now or Iran right now. Nobody. These motherfuckers start war with people just automatically thinking, what do they call it, drinking their own Kool-Aid. Like, dude, we got 450,000 people, enlisted men in our fucking military. They're about to start a draft, up to 42 years old now. So there you go with that. All you bros and all that shit, the bro podcasters and all that. Yeah, y'all's asses might be getting drafted. I'm over 42. But my kids ain't. My kids is prime age. And a lot of our kids are. Nieces and nephews are prime age. Little cousins are prime age. Meanwhile, as long as you own the libs, that's all that matters. And that was stupid. Stupid slogans. Like, come on, man. Y'all live off of slogans and culture wars. And when it comes to rights, Democrats don't take rights away. Democrats don't go out their way to take jobs away. Or we take our guns. You know what? And I'm going to say this. Even if they did take y'all fucking guns, it still don't add up to all the fucking rights that Republicans have taken away from the American people. They wouldn't come nowhere close. They taking human rights away from human beings, and no one is saying nothing. But as soon as they want to pass a gun bill, everybody want to be up in arms. Y'all don't sit there and say, hey man, We need to figure something out here because these motherfuckers who keep going in these schools and shooting these kids is making us look bad. Now, the only thing y'all can talk about is mental illness. I want to hear that shit. Well, then come up with something. Because when we try to, y'all shoot it down. And this is something that she could come up with. Metal detectors. You know why you don't see mass shootings in black schools and cities schools? Because they have metal detectors. That's why. White schools don't want to do it because they don't want to look at themselves like the way they have to do with black schools. Well, your kids are getting killed because you want to be ignorant about stuff. They have technology out here that could tell you if somebody's got a fucking gun in their book bag. They've had it for a long time. Most schools have that, on-site police officer. Had this motherfucker sitting at the door with a wand. Woo, 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 woo. If you're going to do it, you're going to do this shit outside. It won't be in this building. And I ain't saying black kids don't get killed at school, but there ain't no mass shootings. Like, so there's so many hypocrisies with the whole movement. I'm going to end it soon. But there's so many hypocrisies with y'all movement that you can't be taken serious. Y'all say shit like, well, people who want to admit they made a mistake, I just felt like Donald Trump was the better choice, was the lesser of two evils. How? What did he say? What did he say to make you feel that way? What did he say? When it was him versus Joe Biden, you might have had an argument with that mumbo jumbo bullshit that Joe did on fucking stage. Pissed me off. Like Donald Trump said, I don't know what the fuck he said. I don't even think he know what he said. When Donald Trump said that, I was like, Joe's done. Joe's done. Because when I have to agree with Donald Trump, Joe's done. And they got his ass up out of there. See, that's what we do when we realize you're mentally incapable of handling this job. We get you out of there. Meanwhile, y'all guy just called Gavin Newsom the president of the United States. See, if I wasn't just a man in this phone, I'll be able to click to that and show you. But look it up. Because the U.S. ain't going to report that. I heard this shit on someone from across the water that I listened to from the UK. And he had it on the show, and it was Donald Trump's video talking, trying to talk about how Gavin Newsom admitted that he had education issues and he's dumb. But he led by saying Gavin Newsom, the president of the United States. Wait, what? Same guy who said he talked to the president of Puerto Rico. Mr. President, you are the president of Puerto Rico. Who did you talk to? Who did you talk to? This is why we can't take y'all movement serious, because shit like that is told to y'all, and you would just assume somebody's lying and won't even go look it up. Because you don't want to find out that it is the truth. Instead of going and looking it up to see the context and everything else, because that's what I do. Like a lot of the shit that y'all did about Joe Biden was way off base. Some of the shit, hey, it is what it is. The motherfucker, it was old. All right. But most of it was bullshit. It was taken out of context. Or recorded in reverse or dumb shit like that. Fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. So with me knowing that, I won't allow myself to get got like that. So if I see that he said some shit that hell no, there's no way. Yeah. And the bad part about it is 99% of the time is not taken out of context. So that's what we're dealing with. All right, guys. Maybe one day I'll come up with a sign off, but as of right now, peace. Um, I know I talked a lot of shit, but America needs to come together and stay together. Not come together for a cause and then just split the fuck back up again. The 75% needs to fucking take back over and push the 35% back into the fucking backwoods where they belong. With their militias and just practicing on the fucking weekend. Internet gave these motherfuckers too much power.